place in South Africa, which is nonsense. Exactly. But what was Trump trying to do? Trump was trying to rewrite the history of apartheid. America is trying to rewrite the history of apartheid. And what I fear is that during apartheid, South Africans did not tolerate that. After apartheid, South Africans are dancing with it. In order to push back against that, and this is I won't say this answer for too long, but I want to explain why I want to focus on this point. Ramaphosa's calculation, in my opinion, is that although he might sympathize with the apartheid in Palestine, he feels he will lose an election if there are economic consequences for standing for Palestine, because the South African citizen will not accept paying an economic price to defend to break down apartheid elsewhere. He believes that there's a disconnect between apartheid in Palestine and the South African experience today. But if you're able to tie those two together today and tie in the South African economic difficulties they're having now and the pressure internationally to the South African today, then Ramaphosa's calculation, or even the parties running, I know we have some parliamentarians here, the South African parties that end up running are now able to draw on the apartheid history, not as a historical memory, but to say, let's finish the job here in South Africa and in Palestine. And that, as on an individual basis, on an organization basis, it's tying the two. On an individual basis, it's how do you tell the story? In Algeria, we tend to tell the story that we got liberation in 1962. But we still tell the story in Algeria, we're still suffering from the French influence, because every time we want to be economically independent, France comes and bullies Algeria into trying to maintain those economic ties with the French. We believe the battle is not over. That's what the Algeria, we are not free yet. On an individual basis, we need to be careful what story we tell. I agree that I fell into it earlier when I said, I am proud of South Africa being free of apartheid. Yes, you're free in terms of that official implementation of apartheid. But the interaction of America and the South Africa demonstrates apartheid is not finished yet. And I'm going to give it just a darker. I know I'm on record, this is going to get me in trouble, but it is what it is. There's a friend who jokes, he says, Semi speaks like he'll never be invited again. But in any case, the lack of support from neighboring African states to say we as Africans, and I'm from North Africa, and I did the ancestry DNA test. My ancestry is actually Togo and West Africa, just so you know. I am a mix of Arab and West Africa and Togo and the like. I am as African as they come. The tragedy is that, you guys all know the stories in apartheid, how that not everybody fought apartheid. There were those amongst our own clans and tribes and the like who would say to those fighting apartheid, what the hell are you doing? Why are you making things worse for us? It's almost as if we have that system